What is going on, guys? It's Jacob, the skateboard mentor here, and I want to dive a little bit deeper into goals because it seems like we have questions on it. We're not too sure of what we want to do, and this is very, very important, I would say, and even I do put it first in everything that I teach and help people with. You put your goals first. You put the goals and targets first and second. So I want to explain it a little bit more, just so we have some clarity of, Jacob, I don't know what I want to do. Well, I mean, like, I like this, but I don't know if I can make money doing what I love, or can I? So first thing, we want to figure out and list out, what do we not want to do? And this is a really good exercise. So if you don't have a pen, you don't have a journal, first get a journal. Start journaling. Every day have a journal. And we talk about this. If you want your goals to come true, if you want your dreams to come true, you have to tell yourself it's going to come true. Your brain is just a computer. What you put in it is what you're going to get out. If you're constantly filling it with Netflix and negativity and the news and COVID and blah, 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 what are you going to get out of it? You're going to have rich abundance and wealth and be able to provide for your family? Absolutely not. Maybe if you get lucky, but most likely not. If you're hanging around friends that are not where you want to be in life, if they're below you, not, friendship wise, but economically or mentally, if they just are always negative, they're Debbie Downers, they're like Eeyores. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to go outside. It's probably going to rain. I don't really want to go to the park. I just want to stay here. No, personal development, that's nothing. And I'm sure you can think of someone, you're like, yeah, I have one of these friends. Probably should start hanging around other people. So your environment is very important to your goals. Okay? So we want to figure out, and you can just do a T-chart. What do I not want in my life? Who do I not want to be? What do I not want to do? Because they say if you can figure out what you don't want, everything that's negative that you don't want in your life, that you don't want to do, well, ultimately you're left with the things that you want to do. So instead of trying to figure out, well, do I want to do this? Make a list of all the no's. Make a list of, I don't want to be a plumber. And I respect plumbers and I love them. We need them. We need every job that is open right now, even more that we don't have. So, right, we can create opportunities that aren't there. But I don't necessarily want to be a plumber, or I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a brain surgeon. Okay, I don't want to be a bus driver. And not saying that these are bad, it's just I don't have a passion for them, right? Because we talk about financial freedom and getting your time. If money was not a question, if there were all the money in the world, your bills were paid, your family was taken care of, what would you be doing? What time would you wake up? Who would you be talking to? Who would your friends be? This is a really cool thing that, if you had all the money in the world, the fame, who would your friends be? And maybe it's your favorite singer, or maybe it's some pro athlete. And now you can say, well, I really like these idols. And then you can go search them and see who they're friends with and how they're living their lives, to get an example of, would I actually have this person as a friend? And if so, why don't you go try to find someone who is like them, that's doing better, that's in that realm of where you want, and you start gravitating towards success. Okay, so figure out what you don't want. Now you're left with what you do want. You're left with, I love skateboarding. I love snowboarding. Love all the things that you love to do. And then you're like, well, I like to help people. I could help someone. Would I be a therapist? No, put it on that list. I could be a mentor. Yeah, that's something. Well, how would I want to help someone? I really would like to help someone with mathematics. Do I want to be a tutor? No, I don't want to be a tutor for school. Do I want to help someone with their life? Having a better lifestyle? Yes, okay, there it is. And now you start building out your little avatar of you, your ideal life. And that's what we're getting to, is your ideal life. What does your ideal life look like? So first we figure out what we don't want. Now we figure out what we want. And now we can say, what is that why? Why do we want to be this person? Because again, it's not what you get in life that matters. It's who you become. I'm going to repeat that. It's not what you get in life that matters. You could have $1 million. You could have a private jet. You could have all the fame. But if you became a horrible person in the process, it means nothing. So all money does is helps you become more of who you are. So if you're not where you want to be, if you have bad relationships, you have to start changing who you are. You have to start changing your beliefs, changing your mindset, change your environment. Become the person that you want to become. Okay? You know, Jim Rohn says, if someone were to give you $1 million, best you become a millionaire so that you get to keep the money. I love this. If I were to just give you $1 million, now you're the same person with $1 million. If you have poor money habits and you spend all your money and you actually spend more, you might take $1 million, spend all of it and your savings, or spend all of it and then add up credit card debt. There's a reason why most people that win the lottery don't end up having that money in a couple years, even though they win millions and millions of dollars. Why is that? Because it doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter about the amount. What matters is who they are, who they become. So again, become in the process. Start changing who you are and relate with what you're changing to that list of your ideal life. You don't want to change for someone else because your parents say you need to be a doctor, and you start changing and going to medical school and studying, and like you don't like that. That doesn't cause you happiness, okay? So you don't want to change in that route. Maybe that's a good position, it's a good salary, it's you're adding value to the marketplace, you're helping people, but it's not what you want. So first figure out what you want. And you can do that by, again, what you don't want and then what you do want. And then what you can do is, again, take notes of this. Write out, what are my selfish goals and what are my unselfish goals? Because we all have selfish goals. I want a big house. Or I want to live in San Diego. Or, I want that blue Lamborghini that I always see that guy driving in town with. Those are selfish. They do nothing for other people, but it's for you, which is okay. The world is selfish. We all need selfish goals. That's what helps us go through. But we also have to have unselfish goals. Maybe you care about feeding the homeless. Maybe you care about providing jobs to the homeless. Maybe you just want to have clean water access to every person in the world. You don't like seeing a plastic straw stuck in a fish's gill, or like a turtle in the ocean. Or these, now everybody's wearing masks. Masks end up in the ocean and fish eat it. So how do we stop pollution? Maybe you're passionate about it. Find what you're passionate about and see how you can add value to it and see how you can incorporate. This is what I love. These are my selfish goals. I want to be on a beach and everything, but how could I also help that beach that I'm on? How could I add value to the community, the marketplace where I want to be in my life so that I'm giving back? I'm leaving it better than I found it. And this is something that my mom taught me at such an early age. If you go into the kitchen, if you go into your room, if you go to upstairs and play in the game room, you have to leave it better than you found it. Even if it was spotless, pick something and make it better. Windex the window, dust off the baseboard, something, We weren't just the family that got to sweep, mop, and that was it. And spring cleaning was one day. Like spring cleaning was like a week. Every week it felt like we were spring cleaning. Why? Because my mom took value in where she lived. She appreciated us. She appreciated her environment. And she knew that if she's gonna be in here, she wants it clean. She does not want to live in a dirty home, because it says a lot about someone. Where you live and how you treat your home and how you treat yourself is a direct reflection of how you're gonna treat society and treat other people. So if you never shower and you never shave, you have horrible hygiene, and you don't care about your weight, and you don't care about your eating, and it's like you give yourself diabetes, or you're basically killing yourself. You don't take care of yourself, how can you take care of other people? First, you have to take care of you. First, you have to be in the most optimal state that you can be in before you can go and help other people. So the goal here is figure out what I want, figure out how I can use that to help someone else, and then take action on it. Maybe that's just reading a book today. Maybe that's going to talk to someone you never talked to. Stepping in the door to a new place where you're gonna leave this position. Maybe you're not gonna make as much money, but this is towards your goals and where you wanna be. At the end of the day, you have to take action. Much like skateboarding, and this is why I love and built the company Now Evolving Skateboarding Worldwide. It's you and your skateboard. If you wanna become better and you wanna progress in skateboarding, you have to do it. I can tell you, hey man, put your feet here to learn how to ollie. I can tell you, hey, here's some quick tips on how to carve the bowl. But if you don't know how to skate, and you don't apply it yourself, then you're never going to get good. You can have Tony Hawk instruct you and Rodney Mullen, and you got Steve Caballero teaching you how to do board slides across the bowl. Nobody is ultimately going to end up doing it for you. You have to do it yourself, which is much like life. At the end of the day, you fall asleep with yourself. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to rely on yourself, and you have to, one, reflect on what you're doing every day, every week, because time doesn't stop. Seems like last week we had New Year's. Now we're up almost in May. Time doesn't stop. Constantly reflect on your life and how you're treating people and what you're doing and the environment you're living in and the way that you portray yourself to other people, the way that you talk to yourself when no one's around. Do you doubt yourself? Do you say, no, I can't do this? Or do you say, I'm gonna make this happen no matter what? There's no other option but winning. And the beautiful thing about all of this is that you get to decide. You decide when you want to change your life. We are not plants. We can move. We're not animals where we have to, just live how the animal lives. Humans can change their life in an instant. You're in a job you hate. You're in, you live at your parents' house and you don't want to be there. You work full time, you make money, but you never have money. You don't have money to go out. You don't even know how to move out on your own. You have the power to change your life. If you're hanging out with people that constantly put you down, tomorrow you never have to hang out with them again. You just simply don't hang out with them. You're like, Jacob, dude, easier said than done. Yeah. Well, guess what? It's hard to struggle. It's hard to be poor. It's hard to not pay your bills. It's hard to have people in your life that constantly put you down. That's hard. It's also hard to get out of that. It's hard to be healthy. It's hard to wake up and say, the sun's not even up. I'm tired. I'm sore. I don't want to go to the gym. But instead, you go to the gym. You still do that. You don't want to eat a salad, but you still eat the salad because you have an end goal in mind. And when your purpose is strong enough, when you have enough to pull you to the future, to an end goal, that's when you start creating momentum and you start to be able to hold yourself accountable and have the discipline ultimately to keep going. So if you are a procrastinator, if you are someone that just dreams and is not making much progress, the best thing that you could do is, again, go back, get out a journal and write out, what is it that I want in my life, and figure out that purpose. Once you have your purpose, that can be your driver to the future. That now you can say, what can I do just today? What can I do right now in the next 10 minutes to get me one step closer, just a little step closer to my goals? And then you start to see one step in front of the other, How do you climb a mountain? One foot in front of the other, one step at a time. You can't run a marathon without just running the first marathon and then the second marathon. It's much like school. You go to first grade so that it prepares you to second grade, which prepares you to third grade, and so on in college. Then when you get to real life, now you don't have the structure of the teachers and the assignments and the paperwork and the quizzes and all that. You have to create your assignments. You have to create your exams for life. You have to decide, when's your deadline? At what point are you going to fail yourself? At what point do you have to retake the course of personal development, of self-reflection? At what point do you decide and say, this is enough? It's enough. I'm going to change.